Luke, many congratulations. Through to the last 16 after a real battle there against Vincent. How do you assess your performance there?
Not good enough again. I haven't said anything, but I've been struggling with cold and flu the last sort of 2 weeks, and I thought I'd be over by now. I thought I'd be a lot better. I did an interview with Dan Dawson last week and said, I'm hoping I'm going to be better now, but unfortunately I'm still not 100%. It's not an excuse. It's just, I think it's just taking that little bit of fatigue out of me, and I'm trying too hard, and I felt really. I'm surprised that last set went so well for me, to be honest, because I really did feel like the game was getting away from me, and I dug deep again. But I can't keep putting myself in these positions because it will affect me in the end. I'll probably get caught out.
You mentioned they're feeling under the weather. Is that a concern going into tomorrow night's game as well? Quick turnaround for you?
It's not a concern. It's just one of them things you have to do. I think there's been a lot of people not too great. I think Gary wasn't too great before he come here, and Ryan Searle, just a couple of players that I know. But it's one of the things that goes around at this time, innit? And I think I had it a couple of years ago when I played in the quarterfinals when I was Peter Wright. So it's just one of them things, and it's obviously I still played okay. It's not affecting me massively, but it could have been in the way where the fatigue was draining from me. But like I said, I don't want to look at that as an excuse, because it doesn't look great as if you sort of moan that you're ill. I'm just happy to still be in, but the only thing that affects me there was maybe the fatigue. I'll try my best to make sure I change that tomorrow. I can go as fresh as I can.
You still managed to raise your game in that final set, as you mentioned, 112 average. To produce the best passage of play in the most important moments must give you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I am where I am in the world rankings. And obviously, the European Tour has hardened me up and made me the player I am right now. Because I think Joe Collins said it. In the Premier League, he's used to the experience of being in them situations a lot more, and I feel like I am. I'm used to being in them situations where the pressure's on you and you have to produce. So it's just one of them things where experience does help you. And I think for Joe it was the Premier League. For me, it's been the European Tour that's helped me progress and put myself in them positions that I feel much more confident when I'm back's against the wall. But fair play to Vincent. He played a fantastic game there, and it's nice to see him playing well. He's one of them people I really do get along with, and I would love to have seen him have a running. Unfortunately, I wanted to beat him, of course, but I would love to have seen Vincent have a running because he's one of them players that really deserve it.
And it's Stephen Bunting up next to you now in the last 16. He had a superb win over Dave Chipnell earlier. What are your thoughts on playing Stephen?
Yeah, I've played him a few times this year. I've beaten him, I think, a couple of times. But then he played fantastic. I didn't expect such a great. Well, I don't expect it. I do expect it because we're all capable. But he did play well. But tomorrow's a different game. It's always hard to replicate them fantastic games you play, and I feel like I got to hit my doubles a lot more sooner because I think my doubles have really let me down in this tournament. But it's one of the things where I feel like if I play my game, I can win. Of course, I want to get over that hurdle of making to the semi-finals. So, Stephen Bunting is a fantastic player, but I'll be making sure that I start finally bringing my A game to this stage because I know I can.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
Luke, congratulations. At 2-0, did you maybe take your foot off the gas a little bit and let Vincent back in?
Yeah, I think that sometimes can be the case. I think you sort of feel like you're in the front and people will wilt, and they won't. Sometimes you just have to keep going, keep persevering. Don't feel like it's going to be an easy win for you. Vincent come back and be really well there, and the credit goes to him. We all know how good he is, and it was good rhythm for us both. But I feel like the disappointment for me in that game is I did take my foot off the gas and I sort of relaxed too much. I was smiling too much. I was feeling happy, and I think my wife says it a lot. You've got to stay, mind on the game. Don't start feeling like you've won the game before it. I wasn't, but you've got to keep your mind focused on winning the game. I feel like I sort of let my foot off the gas too much there and let Vincent in. And there was a couple of sets there where I really just didn't turn up. So yeah, I feel very, very, very pleased I'm here as the winner.
Surprisingly, a few boos for you as well on the walk. I said something new for you, especially here against the Dutchman. You thought you'd have had the Lions support.
Yeah, Vince has got a great song in here, and I think a lot of people support Vincent, and he's been a great ambassador for this sport, in my opinion. I get on really well with him, and I think he deserves the support he gets. And it's not one of the things that I think affects me because when you've got people booing you and stuff, it's pantomime, and a lot of people boo, going prize, but to his face, they love him. So you know, just a pantomime. We all know that, but we go out there to do a job, and I personally did myself there, tried to go out there and do a job, even though with the booze. But you know, they pay good money. They do what they want, and that's up to them. But yeah, I was happy to get through it.
Going in with that mindset when things are against you like that, is that a good thing to stand you instead for things like the World Series and potential Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's new experiences for me all the time. I think, you know, I've not rarely been booed on stage, but I've not had that experience of playing a lot of players that I could be booed against. You know, I played in Germany, and if you play Germany, you get booed and stuff like that. But it's not something that it affects me mentally, because I don't, you know, I'm not thinking that they're booing me because it's because of me. You know, they're more booing me because they want their favourites to win, and you know, that's the way it is. And you know, there was no whistles or anything like that, which is a good thing. You know, it was more like booing me and cheering their favourites, and that's fair play. You know, obviously whistling, that's when it's a bit annoying. But you know, the crowd, I think this year has been fantastic. So you know, I'm happy just to still be able to experience it again tomorrow.
Nick, many congratulations.
Thank you.
The Premier League was mentioned there. Obviously, you're 5th in the rankings into the last 16. Do you feel like you've done enough for that?
I really don't. I'm not really here to talk about the Premier League, to be honest, because you know, if I win this tournament, then the Premier League will take care of itself. So you know, like I said before, I'm not here to win myself a place in the Premier League. I'm here to win the tournament. So yeah, I mean, the Premier League is something I worry about when this tournament's over for myself. You know, whether I win it or I lose next round, or you know, whatever. I mean, like I said, I've always said I want to play in it. I hope I'm in it, but you know, if I can worry about this tournament, if you know, if I win it, then the Premier League will take care of itself.
Mm-hmm. You've raised your game considerably from obviously round 2 to round 3. How much will you need to raise it even more for that game against Stephen?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to raise it more and more every round I play. And, you know, obviously, I'm disappointed the way that I've played in the 2 games I have played in, because it's just nowhere near the way I feel and the way I feel like they can go. Sometimes, you know, not everything goes your own way. You have to work hard sometimes, and you know, sometimes you can go missing, like I do. Unfortunately, you know, I haven't played like that this year. I've been pretty solid, but just one of the things that you have to get over. And you know, tomorrow's another day, and it could be my day where I can finally fulfil my potential of how good I can play. So, you know, I'm just happy to still be in, and you know, tomorrow's a new day. We go again.
You say about things not quite clicking at times. Can that be a little bit frustrating? You say most of the year it's happened and it's all gone well, but when it doesn't quite happen in the most important arenas like today, can that be frustrating?
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it just doesn't happen for you, and sometimes you have to accept that. And you know, the World Match Play didn't happen for me, the Grand Prix didn't happen for me, UK didn't happen, but then the European Championships, the Grand Slam, the Players' Championships did. So being a professional dart player is something you have to take the rough with the smooth. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it don't, and you know, I haven't played my best, but I'm still in, so that's the most important thing. And you know, I'm going to tomorrow and hoping I can finally fulfil the way I have been playing, and if I do, then you know, it's going to be a great game, and Stephen's going to have to play the way he did against Chizzy this afternoon.
Cheers.
Like you said about bringing your right game, but obviously you haven't been feeling well. How are you going to be able to bring that tomorrow?
I mean, the top players find a way. You know, like I did in the last 2 games, you know, I've been my 100% best, but you know, I think I had a 96 average there. But you know, like I said, it's not affecting me to the point where I'm absolutely playing terrible. It's just to the fact where I feel a little bit tired every now and then. Certainly at the back end of the game. So my game plan is obviously try and win earlier if I can. But you know, maybe tomorrow I might feel a little bit better than I do today. But it's just one of them things where you know, you do about it, and hopefully tomorrow I can play a lot better and more consistent.
And is this the virus that you've had for 2 weeks now?
I mean, I've not been diagnosed. I just got a cold and I felt a bit achy, and I think a lot of it's been going around. So it's just one of them things. I thought, you know, it started before the tournament actually was here, so I thought I'd be feeling 100% by now. Sometimes it takes longer for people, and it has for me. But
has it affected your day-to-day routine?
It did at a point where I wasn't able to, just before the tournament, I wasn't able to practice as much as I wanted to, because I felt really achy and tired, and you know, it's hard for me to stand there and practice a lot longer. But I don't want to make this into a situation where it's about me feeling there when I'm, you know, it's just one of them things that it's just, I think the point I was making is it just fatigued me in the end, and I felt a little bit tired, but you know, it's not really affecting my whole performance. It's more the fact that it more makes you a bit more tired.
But you're still pressuring yourself to
Yeah. I mean, I don't put pressure on myself too much. You know, I think being the world number 5, you have some sort of expectation on your back, and I feel like you have to produce and play like a world number 5 for sure. Because obviously, you know what social media is like. You get a lot of people attack you and stuff, and say stuff like you don't play like a world number 5. But I've got it by merit, and you know, I've worked hard over the last 2 years, and worked my way to the stage where I am now. So, you know, I think that if I can, you know, play the first 2 sets like I did today, tomorrow night, then you know, Stephen's got a tough game with it.